So, what do I mean by that? Well, hi, this is Silent Tracer. I honestly think that working like 40 hours a week, if that's the standard, if that's like, I don't know about part time. I don't know about a lot of that stuff. I don't really. I didn't really put a lot of effort into figuring this out, but I remember back in the day, it was said that people would just literally take anyone that they could, train them exactly and a lot of how to do whatever job it is that they were supposed to do. So we had everyone who had all sorts of people helping them do their jobs. And the thing is, you would have some people taking the morning shift, some people taking the afternoon shift, some people taking the evening shift. And that's a good way of doing it. But you end up with people who pretty much in the majority of of everything doing all day shifts. Am I wrong? All we have to do to increase the number of jobs is to make more shifts, train more people, have them be able to do more things. I don't have super much else to talk about. I have a super large reaction video talking in some detail about um, a Dr. Mike video talking about how, like, oh, reduce meats in your diet, reduce processed foods in your diet. I'll tell you what, when I get done with the meat that I'm having at home, it resembles processed food. It is bashed with a hammer to make it tender and whatever. It is like you break it up so that it can be chewable, and then you cook it, and you maybe season it a little and whatever, and you make meals at home that are far more than any processed foods. I personally don't Whole Foods meat at all. I don't buy chicken that I have to cook myself. I don't buy ham or beef or pork or fish that I have to cook myself. I buy stuff that, for the most part, is already ready for me to eat. Stuff that like pizza pockets, I'll eat that. Deli slices, um, bacon. I'll buy bacon and I'll maybe eat 2 slices a day. Um, sometimes more. I don't know. And I stay away from you talk like I stay away from grains as much. Like I don't eat a super large amount of pasta, I don't eat a super large amount of bread. And I don't eat out much. I do cook it myself, but it's like I have like the dumplings. Recently I've been getting into frozen vegetables. It's been helpful because instead of cans, I just buy one thing of frozen vegetables and it kind of is good. Like I'll put like one of these cups worth of frozen vegetables into four servings of soup. So I'm not getting so I am eating I guess more pasta than I am vegetables for sure. Actually, no, it's about even. When you, before you cook it, it basically is the same amount for each thing, and then I have some meat or I have eggs. So, Whole Foods, like, there's an entire section, multiple sections of the grocery store I have completely ignored. I don't, um, I don't look at any frozen meats whatsoever. Like, it just doesn't, it's not something I mess with. One thing I'm slightly concerned about with people is like um I forget when it was happening, but it's like using intestines for wrapping sausages is if it's pigs, like we're kind of slightly related to pigs. So if their intestinal wall stuff can get integrated into our intestinal wall stuff, that causes intestinal cancers, then I don't want anything to do with it. And if it doesn't, then I'm paranoid. But, I mean, colon cancer can be caused by all sorts of things. But, I mean, if you're eating something that the parts of something that have the same kind of physiology, enough similar physiology that it's similar to you, that your body can't climatize it to itself separate, like it's not chicken gut. It's not chicken guts. We don't even eat chicken guts. We eat chicken like flesh. We eat the breast and the legs and stuff. We don't eat the organs as much, right? All of that stuff. I mean, liver is a different thing, but that's a different thing, and whatever. So I don't know. And I'm not saying I'm healthier because if I ate a bigger amount of meal, I would probably be able to not be so sleepy. And I'm always sleepy. So it all depends. And then at the same time, it's like I need to be more active. Eat more and be more active. And it's like, I don't know, budget and whatever. I try to. It's hard. Should see the plates of spaghetti my parents eat, though. Comparison to what I have in a given uh, portion of meal, I think they eat twice as much spaghetti. And I don't know what's in their meatballs. And I don't touch ground beef. Ground beef is like the devil to me. I just don't want anything to do with it. I barely ever eat a hamburger. I barely ever eat a hot dog. That's what I would consider to be processed meat and whatever. It's like, no. But I'll have, like I say, dumplings and pizza pockets and other stuff that's like, I don't know. A bug on my ceiling. So when it comes to jobs, there is a bug on my ceiling. I don't know who that is. What are you? Buttons. They don't know what they're doing. They just activate and hopefully they do the same thing for the. But the phone has just one set of program for it. The other one has the other set. Whatever. I've been awake for a while already, so I'm allowed to be tired now, which also sucks. Yeah, no, I think that if we have more people assigned to jobs and then they not need to be there for the extended amount of time or whatever, then we would maybe have more people willing to do the jobs. Because, like, endurance is a thing. And it's like, if you can start on a low level where you do the one shift and whatever, and if you were to make it so that we didn't have to survive off of things and we could do the job without risking our survival, like, I literally won't do a full-time job because I'm worried I'm gonna end up homeless. That's how my brain works. I don't want to end up with, oh, well, you're no longer disabled, you can go ahead and not be assisted anymore, and you have to do a full-time job, and then I don't have the energy for it at some point, and I lose it, and I end up homeless. I don't want that. Terrified. Absolute terrified. Anyway. And why is it that we can't have it so that people can own a place? Well, if they're not putting in enough money to be able to, like, if they're only renting or whatever, right? Like, you can't put ODSP money towards owning a place. You have to rent a place. What if you didn't have to rent a place? What if you could rely on somewhere? Have somewhere that you know you're going to be able to live in, and then you just pay the rent, the bills. Similar to my situation. Well, I don't know. And then there's the whole thing about culture, and culture is lacking and people are less friends with each other in person, and how, well, that's the minority or whatever, but it's like people could have more interaction and more understanding of what you're supposed to be putting into your body and whatever else when it comes to food. It's like it's a lot. Think about it.